Shaquille Johnson, born May 10th, 1994. Today's feature is one on a guy that may have been one of the more savage dunkers I've ever seen. He caught so many bodies over the course of his career that it should have its own video. In high school, he was known for slowing down on his fast breaks so the defense could catch up, only to challenge them at the rim and embarrass them. He did this so often, he was told by his coaches not to do it out of respect for the game like it's baseball or something. 100% of the time, he won those challenges. He was 6'4", highly athletic to say the least, and even beat out NBA player Derrick Williams in a dunk contest while he was still in high school, with Brandon Jennings and Kevin Durant watching, consistently giving him perfect scores. His athleticism was never in question, but other facets of his game and also his decision-making sometimes were. Let's get into why this high school star dunker fell off the face of the earth in many eyes. Salute to the life of Jay on IG for this request. Let's get into it. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. Ash, get it. This video is brought to you by Unseasoned. Go subscribe to Unseasoned and check out their exclusive and insightful interviews with females on dating, relationships, and preferences. They get straight to the point and ask the questions that's on every guy's mind. I'll also leave a link in the description. Shaq Johnson is from Atlanta, Georgia, by way of Alpharetta, where he attended Milton High School. He's quoted saying that his inspiration for taking basketball more seriously was because of his good friend Deshaun Parker, former Vanderbilt player that lost his life to a drowning that happened in a boating accident at his new school in Indiana. Shaq used this friend to further inspire him on the court, but unfortunately, those inspirations didn't correlate to his off-the-court activities that may have cost him his chances as a basketball player, one that many thought had the start to potentially doing something special. Stunt number 1, youthful thinking. The beginning of Shaquille Johnson's story, as he explains it, really hits home for myself and many players that maybe needed a little more guidance in hindsight at previous growing years of their lives. The youngest of 4, counting his stepbrother, Johnson dealt with losses of people in his life that could have helped him steer his athletic and life ship. With one of his brothers being locked up for most of Johnson's youth, another a victim of an apparent murder, although his body was never found, and a mother that wasn't involved much in Johnson's athletic world to be able to give him the right guidance. I'm sure she tried to give him the life advice he would later need, but like many young people from a place like he's from, you hear those warnings so much that you tend to become numb to it and brush it off as just old people being old people. Nothing's going to actually happen to me, then it does, and you become stuck in that path. Some of the biggest missteps for Shaq came because of this very same young-minded thinking. The first of which was his early commitment to the Auburn Tigers in just his junior year of high school. Obviously not a bad school to attend for basketball, but in his own words, Shaquille, if given another shot, says he'd choose more of a family-oriented program with coaches that treat you as such, instead of a program that's looking at everything as a business and a what can you do for me ran ship. Johnson, who was just 17 years old when he stepped on campus, didn't realize the opportunity he had as a Tiger and made bad decision after bad decision, to the point they had no choice but to dismiss him from the team in 2013 following an arrest for possession of marijuana. It wasn't a single incident, head coach Barbie said. It was kind of a pattern of behavior. Unfortunately, he continued to make wrong decisions, and it was getting to the point where it was affecting the entire team, the entire program, so it was time to cut the cord. I understand he was young, but you can't consistently embarrass your program and look for lines of grace to be sent to you. At some point, you have to grow up. For Shaq, his growing pains continued at his new school, Longwood University, after a small stop at a junior college. Before even playing a game for the Lancers, he was seen performing unauthorized dental work on some dude's teeth that he had just lost a dance battle to. Shaq tried his patented Dougie move to no avail or crowd participation. Upon the victim busting the young jock, leading into the stanky leg with the opposite foot, the crowd went wild, which set Johnson into an Elmer Fudd rage. He closed his eyes and swung wildly as dude swallowed his teeth and wished DeMonte hadn't taught him that move just the night before. He lost 4 teeth and Johnson dusted off his white tee, kissed his teeth, and walked home before being arrested.
Oh, you mad because I'm styling on you. You got better kid, quit styling on me.
In all seriousness, these bad choices in his youth were his biggest growth stunts, and it's unfortunate he had to learn in this way. Stunt number 2, the best dunker title. I would hate for anyone to label me the best dunker anymore after we've seen so much of them become just that, dunkers. And salute to the people like Hoop Mixtape and Ball is Life, man. Without y'all, a lot of us YouTubers wouldn't be here, so I appreciate you. But it's channels and sites like these that consistently named Shaq Johnson as the best dunker on his mixtape, a title he continuously tried to live up to, and it hurt his future as a player. Although he was successful at that, I don't think he worked much on other aspects of his game. Aspects that at 6'4" you're going to need if you're thinking of having a future in basketball at high levels of D1 or professionally. In his year at Auburn, Shaq started 21 of 32 games and averaged just 5 points a game on a team that had nobody and won just 9 games. If you can't come into a program like that and average at least 15 points with the roster and freedom you had, then I don't think you've put in the work to do so. One reason he didn't average better offensive numbers is because while practicing his between the leg, behind the neck, upside down, touch 2 toes dunks, he forgot to learn how to shoot. He shot just 26% that year from 3 and 69% from the foul line. I'm a huge believer in watching a guy shooting from free throw when I'm judging his potential at the next level, and Shaq's in no year let me know that he was more than a below average shooter. In his 4 years of college, he'd finish at 25% from 3 and 68% from the line, with a career low of 56% as a senior. Now, he did average 7 rebounds and 4 assists that year, which are solid numbers. Had his scoring take a jump in that season to, I'd say, over 20 points a game, things could be a lot different. He did average 3.5 and 4.6 turnovers as a junior and senior, and this shows that his decision-making lacked when put in certain situations. Athleticism is only one aspect of your game. If you're blessed with that, then cool, but that's just the start of the player you'd have to build in order to have a chance at having a successful basketball future. Stunt number 3, end of the road. One of the most difficult stunts to deal with as a player is approaching the end of the road. Many things can lead to this, and most times you never see it coming. Although for guys like Tony Chenault, he did and veered off into a different lane. For many, they have to now deal with finding another path in life and use other skills they may or may not have at the time to keep the lights on, as they say. For reasons mentioned above, Shaq's basketball road didn't lead to an outstanding career overseas or pro ball in the US. It's actually unclear what happened to him after his time at Longwood, where he did manage to get his college degree in sociology. All in all, he seems like a really cool dude that didn't have the guidance he needed to become what many expected him to, and also a bit of overhype by the YouTube machine that may have blurred his reality. He needed someone to help him choose a better fitting program leaving school, someone to keep him focused on what mattered off the court, and a person to help him develop other skills to go along with his amazing athleticism, and he didn't have that. All you young ballers out there, make sure you find and put someone in your circle like that, that's going to keep it all the way real with you, and make sure to adhere to their advice. Wherever he is, I hope he's doing well and making something of his time in college and as a YouTube phenom. Much respect to him, but for these reasons, his growth was stunted. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth, and I'm out.
Like, I need that age gap because guys are definitely very immature.
Linger a little bit. Maybe take a little sip of your drink, giggle, look away.
And he's like, yeah, ready. reservation for 2. And the woman looks up his name. She's like, sir, that reservation's for tomorrow.